Today, I want to talk to you about reinventing yourself after the age of 50, how I did it and how you can too. Welcome to the channel. I'm Carla Stewart, owner of Superior Signature Notary Service. I am a certified remote online notary, and I am commissioned in the state of Ohio as a notary public. So let's get down to business. So back in 2008, I experienced the last of one of many layoffs and employment snafus that we go through. The economy took a downfall and I was a casualty. Well, I then was introduced by a friend of mine to a business opportunity that really kind of fit me and fit my personality really quite perfectly. And that was as a virtual assistant. I could start my own business. I could assist business owners, mostly small business owners, and really help them in like all of their kind of back end kind of stuff, like running their website, working on their socials, all that kind of jazz. So what happened was I took a course, I passed the course, and I became a virtual assistant. Now, finding clients as a virtual assistant was extremely difficult for me. I did find some though, and I then, of course, started working as a virtual assistant, and it was cool and it was great. And then I had, some ebbs and flows as business owners do. Well, what happened was I would lose a client, gain a client, lose 3 clients. But one client stuck with me. We just fit really well together, and she is still a client to this day. Yes, my first business venture, The Office Beyond, still exists to this day. Now, I'm no longer looking for clients for that business. However, I have moved on, and I still work with that client, but I have moved on now to being a business owner as a notary public. Now, being a business owner isn't completely new to me because I grew up in a household where my mom was an entrepreneur. My mom is a professional seamstress. I call her a master seamstress because she is just that good. So, she made all my clothes, not all of them, but she made a lot of my clothes, me and my sister's clothes, as we were growing up. And I learned from her how to sew at a very young age. And so, of course, to this day, I make a lot of my own clothes, and I make some of my husband's clothes. So anyway, I never really wanted to pursue being a professional seamstress as far as being a business owner in that way, because it's a really nice hobby. It is a creative outlet for me. So that has worked out well as a hobby for me. But let's move on to me being a notary public. So I first was commissioned way back in the early 2000s as a notary public. And that was really for an employer of mine. And I allowed my commission to lapse, as I've told you before on this channel. So as far as being a notary public in my own business, owning my own notary public business, I never really pursued that. I never even had heard about that. However, several years ago, I was introduced to having a notary public business as my own business. So what I did was I had already had my notary commission here in the state of Ohio, and I needed to take another course because my commission was going to expire. So I did that. I did a lot of research, and at that time I think I was 51 years old. And so what happened was, I, of course, I got recommissioned in the state of Ohio, and I pursued my own notary public business. So you might wonder, why did I do this? Well, during the pandemic, I wasn't working. I was furloughed from a job that I had. So I was on furlough, and I was like, what's the one thing I have that can be of value to me? I didn't want to sew for other people. My notary commission. So I thought, how can I use my notary commission to earn money? I did some research, and I found that I could become a notary signing agent. Well, I wasn't quite ready to do that. However, what I found was that, of course, I needed to take my exam again because my commission was going to expire and I didn't want that to happen. So I did that. I did a lot of research on becoming a notary signing agent, and I kind of dove into it. I remember my very first loan signing that I did. And for those of you who are new here, a notary signing agent is a notary public, but one who has gotten further training, certified by their state, as someone who guides a person who is doing a refinance, or who's buying a home, or who's selling a home. Got really literally guiding them through the process of signing their documents. So there's specialized training that you need to do that. So I got some more training so that I could do that and become certified in that. And then, like I said, I dove head first into doing that. Now, that's not something I would suggest for anyone else to do. I'm a little impulsive, and I went straight forward. I really should have gotten some more experience as a notary public, because even though I had had my commission for some years, I wasn't using it very much. So if you're in this space, if you are a notary public who wants to get into the business, or if you want to become a notary signing agent, make sure first that you have a lot of experience as a notary public and you know what you're doing. Now, when I say reinvent myself, I mean, I went head first as a business owner. I thought of my company name, Superior Signature Notary Service. I got that put onto the Secretary of State, paid my dues quite literally, got my website built up. Yes, I did that myself using the WordPress platform for doing it. And I went full steam ahead with everything that I needed to do. I learned the ropes, kind of, really in the trenches. That's kind of how this business is too. You kind of have to learn as you go. You do learn a lot about documentation and whatnot, but you learn. You learn as you go along. So when I say reinvent, I don't mean that I reinvented myself as a business owner as much as this business is completely different it's completely different than my first one. And in this business, I have expanded my notary business. So not only am I a notary public, but I am a certified notary signing agent. And about a year after I had experience in that field specifically, I then got certified, trained first, of course, as a certified remote online notary. That requires, of course, extra training in order for you to, be online. You have to have a platform to work with and all of that. So then I learned how to do that. I went full steam ahead and learned how to do that. Even as recently as this year, I made some changes to that particular side of my business, and I have marketed it even more, and I've gotten more RON clients, remote online notary, RON for short. So I have more clients now than I've ever had, and that part of my business has expanded. Now, what's next? What has happened, or what I have done really, again, is expanded. So I have done more what's called general notary work. So people give me a call, they ask for me to meet them at a nursing home or care facility to sign their trust or their power of attorney. And when I first started this business, I really wasn't pursuing that. Well, now that side of my business has really picked up quite a bit lately. Got a call this morning from a gentleman who I've talked to earlier this week who made an appointment. So whether it's a car title, I did a couple of those this week, but a car title, going to care facilities, meeting other people who just need, any other type of document, I can help them. I go to them, I meet them, and they're off on their way, and they're happy because they have what they need. I've also expanded my business to include specializing in apostilles and foreign language document translation. That's a service that I also offer to many of my clients. So I really expanded my notary public business, and along the way, I have updated my profile on various signing services. I've updated my website recently. As far as my RON platform goes, I have added a calendar so that folks who visit my website can click on a link and get taken directly to my calendar so that they can schedule their own remote online notarization. So when I say I've reinvented myself, I'm always on the go. My phone is always buzzing. I really feel that this business has been very successful. Not that the Office Beyond isn't successful. I have one client, and again, we work well together. I'm just simply not pursuing more clients for that business. But this business has revenue coming in. I'm able to pay for my expenses, pay for my equipment, everything that I need. I'm able to pay for out of the revenue that comes into the business. I am able to pay myself more regularly now. I'm seeing where my revenue is more than it was in previous years because I do go back and I check that. So I am now 55 years old, and I have had my notary public business for 4 years, actually 4.5 years now. And it is going very well. I am getting a lot of referrals. People have taken my business card and they've written me some really great reviews. I am very happy about how the trajectory of this business has gone for me. After 4.5 years, I think I can safely say that it is successful and I'm very happy. Now, you might ask, you said, how do I reinvent myself? The same way. Do what you think you can do, and guess what? If you fail, at least you tried. You can never say that you failed if you never tried, right? When I was about, I want to say 6 years old, I had what I called a buttons and bows business. I made up a little sign on a piece of paper, buttons and bows, and I taped it to a tree outside of our house. I sat on the porch, and I had a bunch of buttons and bows from my mom because, again, she was a seamstress. So she had a bunch of buttons and bows. And I thought I was going to have my own business. That business was a failure. I mean, I was 6 years old. Of course, now we live in an age of the internet, and at 6, a 6-year-old can own a business and be successful. Well, I'm not mad at that failure because I at least tried and I had fun doing it. So, my encouragement to you is have fun, go for it, and be like the old slogan from the footwear company Nike, and just do it. Don't let anything stop you. If you need specialized training, go get that. Go do it. Get that training, pay for your training. You might have to save up for it. I've had to pay a good penny for the training that I've received, but I've gotten that back with wonderful clients, with great referrals, and great, above all, relationships that I built over the last 4.5 years. So reinvent yourself. Don't allow anybody to tell you no, you can't do it. We live in an age of the internet, okay? Everybody's got a cell phone, a website. Socials are crazy, right? Build your platform, stay true to it, and do you. That's what I've done. I've learned a lot along the way, so the learning process has never ended for me. So go do it. Reinvent yourself and don't let anybody tell you you can't. I am Carla Stewart, owner of Superior Signature Notary Service for the last 4.5 years. Thanks for watching this channel. Please subscribe to it for more inspirational videos, really videos about everything that has to do with being a notary public, especially here in the state of Ohio. Thank you again for watching. Take care.